Welcome to the final episode of the Site-65 podcast. I am your host, Robert Tomato Peterson, and with me we have a couple of people. We have my boy Keegan.
Yeah.
Your voice kind of trailed off there at the end.
Yeah.
We have Marvin.
Yes, hello.
And we have Bork.
What's up?
Thank you guys for joining us on this lovely Sunday. As I said, this is the last podcast. I basically left the server. So this last podcast is basically out of character. We're just going to talk for a while and have some fun and talk about our memories on the server and all the things that make it so fun. And then we will all ride off into the sunset and probably get blown up somewhere.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
And just so you know, I am not taking down the podcast from Spotify. I'm not taking it down from Apple Podcast. I'm not taking it down from YouTube. It will remain there floating in the ether for all eternity or until eventually YouTube shuts down. Yeah, I'm not going to do that where I delete stuff. Although I could probably put it behind a paywall and charge people $5 for it. That'd be kind of fun. But
Hey,
no.
Sure, call.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Mostly because I know a lot of SCPRP players are broke.
We broke.
That is very true.
Yeah. So yeah, this whole podcast, if you're one of the few people who stumbled across this podcast and has no idea what we've been talking about for the last 2 years, this whole podcast has been based around a Gary's Mod SCP-RP server called Civil Networks SCP-RP. Although I wish it was still called Civil Gamers Bring Back the Bird. Yeah, so it's all just been based around our characters on a, game server. I played the role of an executive researcher, although I wish I was director, but that's a different story. Keegan played DOR for a while. Marvin is, your chief overseer now? And Bulwark,
I've been a lot of things.
Yeah.
He was site director once, too. He had to deal with my bullshit.
I think everyone had to deal with our bullshit, Keegan.
Oh, yeah.
On the scale of bullshit, y'all's wasn't that bad.
True, but still pretty fun.
Keegan, you think you're the Antichrist for some reason.
Well, no.
I mean, you guys did things.
Not really the Antichrist, but no, I still did things.
In my experience, even bullshit is something, It's better than the people that do nothing.
Yeah.
Real?
Did you see they got rid of documentation in the research department?
What?
Yes, the directors of research decided that the limitations of documentation far outweighed the potential of letting people reign free, which I agree with. So,
hello, everybody.
Hi, Knox.
God, it's the cannibal.
Oh, hey, it's the cannibal dude. It's the cannibal guy. Holy shit. He likes to eat people. I do.
Knox, you saw all the information that this is all out of character, right?
Sorry?
Yeah, this is the last podcast, so we're all just talking out of character.
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw that.
All right,
I saw it disappeared for 18 of them, but I saw that shit. I had to come back. I'm currently fucking revising for mouse right now.
Fair enough. Oh man, it's been fun doing this podcast, and I've really enjoyed it. It's just an idea that I had back in it was August of 2023. I'd only been on the server a year, and I think it's because I just like talking to people. So I was just like, hey, let's do a podcast, and I didn't really know what to expect with it when doing it, but people have really enjoyed it. I get people. I got people on the server who would come up to me and say, "Hey, podcast guy, I really like the podcast," and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that always made it all worthwhile when, random people I've never met before walk up to me and say, "Hey, I really enjoy what you do." That always made it, fun. And even though, like, we barely made any money off of this, but it wasn't about the money. It was just about talking to people and doing fun shit.
If I
With
could
people,
say, I think my favorite thing about the podcast was seeing people coming. Cause my favorite thing about the SCP Foundation is seeing the stories people come up with, like seeing the
yeah,
characters they come up with. Like I always really liked seeing that. I love that. There's so much you can do with the SCP Foundation. There's not just one thing you can do with it. Which is why
yeah,
I don't
or
like when SCP servers reuse the classic SCPs, but I'm just saying.
yeah, or you could hijack episode 3 and take it and make it all about a completely separate thing.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I always found
I
it
still have
fun
that
to be
episode
able
somewhere.
to just come along, pretend I'm fucking Niox on here and shit, and interact with people. Because normally I'm CI, I don't really get that opportunity for characters, so it was definitely fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I opened it up to CI and GOC originally, because I figured, okay, if there's not gonna be a ton of people who want to sit down and talk to us in in normal Foundation comms. So, it'd be fun to have GOC just in, and I tried to play it like GOC are hacking our comms, and eventually I just gave up with that and just said, hey, we're all in a Discord together, which we technically are, but it like the in character reason was, hey, we all just had a Discord that was being monitored. So we could talk about stuff, but we couldn't say like the administrator and stuff like that.
Is
Yeah.
Discord an in-character thing in the SCP universe?
I have no idea.
You
I
mean
think
the
so.
universe isn't real?
I mean, there's like outside of the veil and whatnot. I mean, I imagine they'd probably have their own sort of video call system that's more secure. But
I think it's
know.
like, what's the fucking old thing they use? Old people use.
Facebook?
Facebook? No, it's not Facebook. It's like Telly something, I think.
MySpace.
MySpace.
Zanga?
MySpace, so I haven't heard that in
MySpace,
a while.
exactly.
I still have
God,
access to my account. I still have access to my fucking Webkins account too.
Oh,
I wonder if
dude.
I could find my old MySpace account. I don't think so, because I think they wiped the servers back in like 2015. But I had one for a while.
Sucks.
Never had any friends on it though.
Some things don't change.
Wow, thanks, Knox. Nah, I never I never thought the podcast would get this far. It kind of expected to do a couple episodes and not really get any feedback, and then people started, really taking to it and wanting to host, and then we got Ellie and Yeki to, give us spots on the main CN Discord, which I thought was the coolest thing.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, getting my own page on the Discord, getting my own like commands. I'm the only one with the @podcastman role, which
You're literally the podcaster guy, bro. You're so special.
He's a podcast.
yeah.
I've had a couple people do that to me also when I did play. A few people brought up, is that Keegan from the podcast? Fucking what was his name? Oh, yeah. Scoobs did that to me a couple of times.
It's always a
It's that
nice
guy.
feeling when you get recognized like that. That's what happened on the last day I was playing. One of my character was killed off. Just before I went to do my final 682 thing, some kid came up to me and he was like, "Hey, you Robert?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, I started listening to the podcast. I'm a big fan. So sorry if you're that guy and you're listening. You caught it at the tail end, but
Yeah.
there's still 59 episodes for you to go back and listen to. Although somewhere I made a math error and we skipped one number episode. I'm not entirely sure which one it is. I think it's like 56. But the episodes are one ahead.
That's for you guys at home to figure out,
Yeah. You got the breath of the podcast to go listen to. We've had some fun time. We had 682 a guy playing 682 host episode 50, which was a lot of fun.
So sad I missed that one. That's hilarious.
GG.
We had 049 appear randomly.
It took me
Some guy played
hostage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some
that's
dude
nice.
played the D Block monster. Which I still don't
The
understand
D-Block
what that is.
monster. What?
I don't entirely know.
I'm not surprised that there's a monster.
I've
in
never
D-Block
heard of
somewhere.
that, but it would make sense to me that would exist.
Yeah, I have no idea. Some guy just at the end of the podcast, this was like episode 15, he just goes, and someone's breaking down my door, and then he changed his voice, and he goes, "Raw, I'm the D-Block monster," and then we cut the episode.
The fucking he's gonna get you from under their bed type creature. What the
He's
fuck?
just dead. I wish we had Duke on the podcast. One of the coolest D class.
Yeah, but the whole point of it was just like, yeah, it has to be Foundation personnel, not
D-class
like
is speaking phones,
D-class.
bro.
You had CI and GOC on, and now you're complaining about Foundation personnel?
Well, I mean, like, a D-class wouldn't know anything about the Foundation. They would just be on death row. At
I
least
feel like that's
GOC
almost
and
funnier,
CI
though. D-class perspective, you know?
Hey guys, I
Oh, yeah.
What is this, guys? What are we talking about?
I mean, I can't imagine the D-class don't know what the SCP Foundation is like at large, you know? I mean, they would be trapped in some facility with no knowledge.
Yeah,
Just have a
definitely
D-class
want
on, and
that.
then at the end of the episode, play like the amnestic sounds and just have them amnesticized.
Yeah, you know.
Fucking
Have
hell.
a gunshot. Hey, D-class, what do you know about 008? What? Boom.
And then done that.
My favorite thing was during my second to last 682 test, the GOC came in, and there was a deep cover or whatever it was. No, it was a CI deep cover. My bad. It was a CI deep cover, and he held me at gunpoint and made me go take a couple 008 samples and give them to him. And he was like yelling at me. He's like, "Don't drop them. They glitch out when you drop them." So naturally, I dropped one. And he got them and caused a 008 breach. And it was the one thing I've always wanted to do on the server was cause a 008 breach. So I got to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
technically,
gone
you
now.
still could.
Who's gonna stop you? Who's
I
gonna
mean-
tell you off for it?
I mean, technically, yes, I still could, but I'm kind of just done with the server for now. I say that until I relapse in 6 months and come back.
You never truly escape government,
Marvin,
right?
what do you say? Let's give him a Davy Crockett.
Unlike most people, you know, I won't give
Yeah.
out a Davy Crockett on a whim.
Marvin, how about we do that, okay? GM sponsored me the way he relapses, give him a Davy Crockett and 8 billion.
It doesn't
HP.
even let you use it. It's just a permaban.
It's a
You're
ban,
basically just permabanning yourself.
They don't need to know.
Wait,
that.
like, so as soon as you take out the weapon, you're just gone?
If you try
No.
to fire
It does the
Fire it.
countdown. If you click the button to fire it, it will instantly permaban you, and it won't
Yeah.
fire it. So you've achieved nothing
Oh.
except to permaban yourself.
Except you're just gone. I like how people have tried that on probably the staff team and are not in the server anymore because of it. And they sacrifice themselves for information.
GMs have tried. I know at least one UK, one US.
I've
It's
seen the
critical.
message it tells you when you use it. I forget what it says, but it's
Probably calls
Yeah.
you a son of a bitch.
I've got into.
Well, I think it was
the
along the
button.
lines of you know why you got this message, you know.
I've got into the nuke button at 682, and I've called admins before and been like, "So, like, can I press this?" And they say like, "Yeah." They're like, "No, you're gonna get like permaban for mass RDM." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm 682. Like, it makes
Yeah, but that's what
sense.
682 does, though.
Yeah,
He kills people. You're
How
gonna
would
bet
682
for
be able
mass
to
RDM?
use a key-carded...
He can slam
like-
into the button and hope for the best.
yeah." He eats it. I
and
don't know.
break it, and then not be
What
able
if
to
he-
use it.
What if
I
he
will
takes
say,
the
Off
I am
paneling and
wire?
connects the two wires.
I am one of the few individuals who has had the pleasure of nuking the entire server several times. So,
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
yeah.
know. Yeah, you've had that luxury of being able to fucking press. What?
Oh yes, those are the voices in my head. This
The
is
roommate
this is.
cameo.
Let me explain. This is something that's very common throughout my time in this server. Is anyone who knows me or has been in a TeamSpeak call with me knows that I hot mic very hard because my microphone has no gain settings, and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
okay. I thought there was someone else in the call in the background saying some shit.
No,
I was like,
that is room.
This roommate cameo. That's what we call it.
yeah,
Imagine not being alone.
yeah,
All
bro.
right.
Ow.
What the fuck was that?
That was my cry of shame.
Oh, don't do that, please. It just was really high pitched and hurt my brain.
Indeed.
What else happened on the server? Way back in I was executive like 5 times. The first time I was executive, I got kicked off of executive because I held up in 05.
Mine are just,
Why?
tomfoolery.
So basically I got pulled to the side and was told, like, I got brought into like a server room and was like, hey, we need you to write a 008 document to like disinformation the CI who are going to be invading site. And I said, okay. So I whipped up a document in like 10 minutes and I came back to them. And before I handed it to the 05, I said, so what's in this for me? And they held an emergency vote and banned and kicked me off of for executive researcher.
What the fuck?
I mean,
Yeah, I can't comment on that, but I don't think that would ever happen these days. Jesus
No.
Christ.
Yeah, they were like, what the fuck? He's holding us up. And I'm like, yeah, what's in this for me? And yeah, they were like, okay, we're done with your shit, Robert. And I got promoted to D class. And I remember I'm sorry, they kicked me off of executive and I spawned on service and I was trying to get back onto executive job and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I messaged, it was Halo at the time, and I messaged Halo and I'm like, hey, what happened? They're like, you've been removed from executive, you cannot appeal. And I'm like, what?
For
Honestly,
saying
Lorax
no
are
to an
05.
05?
For
That's
holding
crazy.
up an 05. Yeah,
For,
they were
for literally just going,
picky.
hey, what's in this for me? Like exactly, like in this
That
test, which is
okay.
a fair question actually.
I could
Yeah,
say
but
that there would definitely be some, in-character shenanigans, but these days we're much more, we don't really kick people from roles based on punishments and things,
Yeah,
unless the
keep in mind,
punishment is intended to do
this was
that.
like 2 years ago.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
What was this when there was more than 405, or was it 4?
I have no idea.
Because there used to be 7, and I wasn't around for those days, but I've heard it was quite hellish.
This was January 2023, I want to say.
I don't think there was 7.
There was 705. There used to be.
Well, no, at
Long
the
time ago. Oh, at the time, yeah, perhaps not.
So when they went down to 4, what happened to the people that were holding the other 3?
I don't know.
Executed
More than likely.
on the spot. They just got lined up and fucking shot.
I will say, even the concept of 4 is pushing it in my mind, because
had, like, 4 as well. They had Epic's director.
The whole lore of the server, like having
Vice
the
director.
ethics committee and overseers and MTFs and the concoction of all these different Keter class SCPs
Yes.
in one site.
There's a lot of things that don't really make sense, but
you walk out the door and there's GOC and CI like half a mile away.
What, you don't like your mobile task force as being immobile? Come on.
Yes, There's a
It should
lot of
all be
things
general
that
security. It should all be
could be
general security.
better, but I think at the end of the day, it serves to have every role fulfilled. I suppose is the goal, regardless.
Hear me out. Let's just get GSD to do all of it.
Marvin, I think in honor of the last podcast episode, you should go activate the nuke.
Yeah, that's by the end time before you go out.
I think
No,
this
what
should
you
be the
should
end
do
of
is
this should be
I
the
should
end of
join
this
the server
episode.
and you should just give me O5 privileges.
Alright, cool.
What, 05 for a day?
Your friends just surround
Yeah.
you one by one dying.
It might be possible. I'll have to ask, but it definitely would be
Oh, please do. That would be amazing.
short leash. I could look into that for you. No
Yay.
promises. I can't promise anything because they're
Oh,
very
no, I
tight
get it.
about who goes on what roles. But
That would be
Marvin,
I think
awesome.
that would be
Blackmail.
funny to see Robert 05.
We could just throw him through 914 until he gets an overseer disguise and let him play around for a while.
It's funny because the last thing my character did on the server was get eaten by 682.
Yes, I always figured that was how you would eventually go out.
But yeah, I,
There's no other way.
I like how your character had like a cinematic death. My dude just got shot in the face.
I had Marvin blow up my DOM character.
Yeah, I blew up. I blew him up.
You really blew up.
Dying, bro. It's
Yeah.
kinda cool.
Oh, actually, here's something that's even better. About a year ago, when I first retired, my character was killed off by doing a God, it was like some 682 bullshit.
Oh, of course
And I like caused a breach or something, and I got pulled into the site director's office or site administration's office, and I think Keegan, you were there. I don't know if you were there. I think you were there.
What was? Sorry, I phased out there for a second. What was it?
This is when I tried to produce a notes from the administrator saying that I had privileges to do what I was doing, and I rolled a natural.
Oh yeah. Oh my. And then you turn to me and go, "Yeah, I got money. Yeah, I stole money from the 05."
Oh yeah, that was my particle collider experiment where I threw 682 into a particle collider. I stole 2.3 billion from the 05.
Yo,
And
okay. If we were cool, or if we could somehow plan that, you could have caused a 6820 event. Where it's where this foundation successfully kills 682, but they cause it to become stronger in some way in a reality bender. It's a whole SCP. It's like a whole novel. But
We,
it's very good.
Isn't
we
that
made,
like 6820?
Yeah, 6820 or 0.
GOC and Foundation. We did a 096 termination test and gave 096 reality bending powers.
Why
Oh,
does
God.
everything become
Say it.
fucking reality bender? What are you doing to these motherfuckers' fumes?
Don't worry about
well, here, let me quickly finish what I was gonna say. So I got pulled into the sit, and then they're like, "You stole money from the foundation. You're basically dead." And I thought, I'm just gonna throw this out there. So I produced a note saying from the administrator that said I had permission to do this.
Why do you
And they're
know
like,
what the
"You gotta roll
administrator
for
and
this, man."
character-
Hold on. They were like, "You gotta roll for this," and I rolled a 1.
Yep. You rolled a 1. I was right there.
Oh man, it was perfect. Like it couldn't have gone. Obviously it
It
could
was
have gone
great.
better. But I think rolling the 1 was the perfect end to it.
How the fuck did you know about the administrator?
Oh, I was just pulling shit out of my ass.
Yeah, he was.
That is one thing that's quite common because the problem with SCP in itself and doing RP around it is that most of the shit is fucking redacted to hell. And so
yeah.
you have to wonder, like, how do you reconcile people knowing things when on the server at least, we don't have anything like that. The only things we have is what people write, but what people write needs to be something they could actually know about. So, it's a bit of a paradox.
I
It
just
is.
metagame
It's
as
also a
well,
lot of fun.
easiest option.
Well, it's metagame or be metagame, so.
If there's one thing that the server loves, it's metagaming. Am I right, folks?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna
So
be straight up
metagaming.
honest with you. Now that I'm not in the server anymore, I'm gonna be honest. There were times where an obvious CI was beside me disguised, and I rolled my eyes. I was like, "Oh god, this dude's gonna want to like roleplay kidnap me right now." And I was so close to being like, "Should I just dip?" Like, I don't want to do role. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, CI. I'm sorry, dog. Your roleplay is kind of boring, man. I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm
not
Oh
you.
sorry.
yeah, there
I
were
don't
times
take
where CI
offense.
took my disguises and ran off, and I would just leave the server.
Someone I witnessed that happen, and the CI was talking to me, and right like the dude leaves, he just becomes CI before my eyes, and his immediately just head explodes. There's MTF surrounding us too. They didn't even try to cuff him. They just shot D1 as soon as they saw he was CI.
Awesome.
No, they were
I love
actually
how
trying to kill you, and he just got caught in the crossfire.
I mean, actually, yeah.
I love how I've noticed recently, because when I do play on the server now, I just play as Parawatch and go in and fuck with the Foundation. They don't like to roleplay with Parawatch. They just like to shoot them as soon as they see them.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it like Robert Pineapple Peterson or something? Like you
No,
do
it's
a
Robert Banana Peterson.
banana. Yeah.
Banana.
Banana.
That's funny. Something I like to do with the citizens or the Parawatch that would enter the Foundation, I would be like, "Oh, you could have come through the front door. We do tours like every Tuesday." And like, really? Like, yeah. And then as soon as I cross by an MTF or a guard, I'd be like, "Shoot this fucker!" Like, shit, get this guy away from me.
I actually did that. I walked in because the door was broken on surface and no one was there. So I just walked in and walked to the cafeteria. No one stopped me. And I just sat at the cafeteria and a chef walked up. He's like, can I help you? And I ordered a cheeseburger. So I was like,
I
this is
went,
a nice I was like, this is a nice restaurant. And he served me a cheeseburger. And then like 10 minutes later, an MTF walked by and he goes, the fuck are you doing? And I go, eating my cheeseburger. What do you want?
eat my cheeseburger.
Man. Yeah, it's
Have you
so much
guys
fun over the
have
last
you
couple
guys
of
ever
years.
read like Dash J entries? That's what the US feels like all the time.
Oh,
Can you
What?
repeat that? You're kind of quiet.
Have you guys ever read the Dash J entries? That's what the US feels like all the time.
Yeah, of that fluffy
Dash J.
motherfucker that kills everything and is super dangerous.
No, just general Dash J entries. That's just how fucking the US feels all the fucking time.
My favorite is the rock that makes you procrastinate.
Ah, yes, isn't that like the most uploaded article?
Yeah, because it's literally 3 sentences.
Probably in the medic or something.
Good times. Good
So
times.
if I suddenly disappear, it's because I'm downloading mods for New Vegas. The quantity is
Hell yeah.
738 mods. So
Oh, you're
During the
downloading like a
podcast? How
mod pack?
dare you?
yeah,
Hell yeah. I appreciate that.
my computer sounds like it's about to go to an orbit. So
I
we'll see.
recently did a playthrough of New Vegas on my YouTube channel and it was called New Vegas, but I'm super depressed.
No. Yeah, I've seen the thumbnails for those.
No, it was funny because I did the recordings and I got like 2 views each thing, and then like a week later, one of the videos shot up to like 300 views, and I'm just like, what the
Jump
fuck?
scare.
Yeah, being laid off sucks.
Oh.
I've thought about trying YouTube stuff, but I'm too busy. I don't know how to edit, so no time.
I don't really edit my stuff. I just kind of throw it up there. Like I just hit record, do some very basic chopping of the front and end of the video, and then throw it up there to YouTube. I'm not like super into editing because like super edited videos just kind of piss me off.
You gotta
I don't know.
edit
That's
them,
just
bro.
me.
You gotta.
It's
You
about
gotta
simple
keep
and
people's
stylish.
attention. that instead.
It's more about simplicity. Like, I don't need jump cuts every 3 seconds. I don't need fancy graphics going across the screen.
That
Just
is
tell me
what
what I
the
need to
government
know.
wants you to think.
Well, you don't want a split screen with Subway Surfers playing on the side.
No,
and
I can't stand. I cannot stand short form content.
YouTube Shorts, let's go.
No, I
You
do
sit
not
there,
watch
drool
YouTube
at your
Shorts.
fucking iPad.
I don't even have an iPad. I'm not an iPad kid.
I don't know.
I got my first phone when I was 13, and it was a flip phone. I could take 1 megapixel photos with it. It was awesome.
1
The old,
megapixel.
the old Motorola Razor.
No, my aunt had one of those. It was the coolest thing. She could play Pac-Man on it. I thought it was awesome. I was like, wow, technology has peaked. And
Yeah,
now I could play like Pac-Man on like a toaster.
My old Motorola had Deer Hunter on it, and it was like 32 bytes or whatever.
Yep. And that took
was-
up 90% of the phone's storage.
Yep.
Good times. I remember having what was it? Up until like 2017, we had a 4 gigabyte limit, at least in my family, per person on internet usage for phones. So there'd be times where I would like hit that limit at like the 15th of the month, and then I would have to wait another 15 days before I could use internet on my phone again without Wi-Fi. The dark ages. I suppose none of you can relate because I'm older.
No. Yeah, like ancient.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh, I mean, I'm right behind you, so
Yay, fellow old people.
yeah, you got 3 years on me.
Welcome to being an adult. It only gets worse from here.
You guys are boomers, bro.
Shut up,
Did
Knox.
you just call us beaners?
No,
Boomers.
boomers.
What?
I heard beaners, dude.
It's
100%.
funny. That's funny because I'm half Ecuadorian, so it's funny hearing people say that.
Great. The
That's
one
like-
racial slur we use in
That's
the
like the
podcast
worst
on the
racial
last
slur ever,
episode.
though.
No, boomer, not that, no, boomer.
Like if I got called that, actually, I'd just be very. I don't know. I'd laugh. Like that shit's very. That's so weak.
Nice job. You've ruined things for everyone. Now I have to delete the podcast. Well done.
Yeah, and now he has to brutally murder us all in real life with a Glock 15. Now we're all gonna die.
Oh man. You mentioned a Glock 15. These got I think I mentioned this before. I moonlight as a Lyft driver, like IRL, and
Yeah.
these guys got in my car the other night, and we were driving to the destination, and they were just typical frat bros, just like douchebags and stuff like that. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, this guy cut in front of me, and they're like, yo, what the fuck, bro? That guy cut in front of you, yo. We can get out and fuck him up, bro. And I'm like,
Like,
no, don't do that. I'm like,
No.
no, please don't do that. They're like, no, we got guns, bro. We could take him out, bro. And I'm like,
I'd be
no,
yeah. I'd be like, what the fuck?
no. I hate college kids sometimes.
I don't know why they had to.
What's
Like, I don't
that?
know why they would tell you they had a gun. I'm like, get the fuck out of my car. Like, no.
I had a guy
we
get
live in
in one time
America.
with a bulletproof vest on.
Like, yo, bro, you are not the Punisher, bro. Get the fuck out of my car.
Me
Yeah,
I'm
he
looking
going
at
somewhere to
the
kill somebody.
me looking at the bulletproof vest hanging off my door and the handgun on my computer desk.
No, like it would be fine if he was wearing it under like his clothing. He was not. He was wearing it
Oh,
over
why
his
would you
clothing.
wear it like that?
Yeah. So he gets in and he doesn't really say much. He just goes, "Hey," and I go, "Hi."
He said, "Take me to the school."
No. Oh my god. No, I was taking him like north of town, and he was sitting like really low in the seat, like really low, like
Maybe he's
slung
just
down
short.
so that he couldn't be seen out the window low. And I
It's a
thought,
little
am I about
weird.
to get like shot up?
He was about to use you as a getaway driver.
Yeah, seriously. I got to his destination. He gets out. He goes, "Thank you," and he gets out. He tipped me $20. So I mean, I'll take it.
Business is business, you know.
Real.
I mean, I guess, but like at the same time, that was like the scariest ride I've ever had.
Well, was the ride worth 20 quid?
Was the ride what?
Worth
Worth
20
20
quid. $20.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And all is well.
Listen, when
20
you're a
bucks is
broke
20
college kid
bucks.
and you need money, $20 is $20.
Imagine not dropping out of college.
Imagine going to college and then deciding you want to leave. You're spending all that money and then you just go, nah.
I spent
Absolutely not.
2 years in school and had to drop out because I was. So they were supposed to have an online portion, and I did that. And then they're like, you have to get all your clinical hours for nursing school. So I couldn't do that. Well, obviously couldn't do that online, and my commander wouldn't release me to go get them done. So I had to drop out just before deployment.
Oh, you're in the army?
Yeah, I'm retired now, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
This guy's so
Yeah.
fucking old. He's like had a life, dropped out of college, gone to the army, had a job, and now retired from the army. This guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I got blown up. Kind of like what Marvin did to me, except I lived.
Drawing parallels between Gmod and real life. Okay. Okay, right.
Wait, Gmod is in real life?
This
Feels pretty
Wait,
like
real
what
to me.
happened to you in
you're
real
telling
life.
me the SCP Foundation is not real?
Do you know how
It is.
fucked this world would be if it was? Like, let's talk about that for a
Listen,
second.
okay, first off, Bork, I can hear everything you're trying to eat with that bag of chips.
It's actually a
What?
piece of chocolate.
Oh,
It actually
Oh.
does make it a little better. What kind of chocolate?
yeah.
Some kind of like Austrian milk chocolate, I guess.
Oh, hell yeah. Is it called Milka?
No, it's called Bohm's Schoko. It looks like the Austrian word for chocolate. I can't pronounce it.
European chocolate is the best chocolate.
It really is. On God.
Yeah. I remember
The
when I
be-
went
the
to
best,
Germany, I brought back a suitcase filled of German chocolates.
The best dark chocolate comes from South America.
So does the best cocaine, but you know.
What?
How would you know from experience?
We don't talk about it.
That should have been my final test. Let's just give 682 cocaine and see what happens.
You know what happened with 999? I think he'll just do that, but again,
999 would explode.
who knows? Got tested to figure out.
Just inject 999 with heroin.
With heroin. Why
I mean-
999, man?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to be like a valid test, I guess.
I feel like
think
if I
that-
showed up to if I showed up to the foundation, they're like, "So what'd you do today, Tomato?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I injected 999 with heroin." I would be like murdered on site.
Yeah, like I'd probably murder you on the spot too.
Also, this is a very weird thing, a weird coincidence, but why do people try to ERP with 999 so fucking much, dude?
What?
Oh my god!
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
Is
US
that an
thing.
actual problem
This
right now?
This
Yeah.
is definitely a US thing. What the fuck?
Yeah, there's a researcher who I don't think he
God.
listens. Robert Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Let's talk about
he,
Robert Hopkins real quick.
Yeah,
Those got
he
2 bans
ERP'd
from
with-
medical, 5 bans from research, 2 bans
Wait,
from
say his
ISD,
name again?
3
Whoa.
Robert Hopkins, bro.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Again,
I
he's
thought
got
I knew that guy.
2 medical bans, 5 research bans, 2 ISD bans, and 3 GSD bans, and somehow this dude is still on the server.
I mean, they keep letting back Nathan Smith, so
Oh,
Yeah, Nathan can be tolerated.
yeah.
no.
Kind of. I don't know. I'm with my time on the server.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that Robert Hopkins dude, he ERP'd with 999 like 2 months ago, and then every time I see him, I just like, all right, dude, like you need to shape up, and then he gets in trouble again, and then he thinks I'm like targeting him, and I'm like, dude, I'm not targeting you. You just keep fucking around. Like, stop doing
He
shit.
keeps
How can you-
fucking 999.
How can you think that you're getting targeted when every department has banned you?
Yeah,
There's people who have been like that, where like you just try genuinely to help them and tell them shit. They're like, you're targeting me, or leave me alone. It's like, all right, well, go get in trouble and then fucking wonder about it later. You fucking idiot.
Oh, welcome.
Fucking
Hello
Oh
there.
god, it's this guy.
It's Grimoire.
Who's this guy?
How are
The
you?
final episode, Grim.
Uh,
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Hello.
Oh man, Grim, we were just talking about banning people from the research department, and Grim is muted.
You know what's funny? They never took away my director whitelist on the server.
I don't think they took away my executive whitelist either.
And I kind of, because I feel like now that I said it, they're gonna find my Steam ID and take it off, which I hope they don't.
Whichever SL listens to the podcast, you know who you are.
Because I never play on the server. So
They'll probably do like a whitelist clean. They do it every now and then.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Grim, we're just talking out of character, having fun.
Dude, I've gone through hell trying to get whitelist wiped. I tried it multiple times with medical, and two things would
I've
happen.
seen your attempts. It is horrendous.
Two things would happen. Either they would just delete my request,
Don't do it.
or they would wipe everybody's roles, and then they wouldn't give them back to the people that were included in the list of people that needed the roles. And one day, there's not even an SL request in that's currently up, and I'm just directoring around the game on medical director, and next thing you know, everybody in medical's whitelist just fucking gone.
Same thing happened to research.
I think it's because of how, like, you need to state who you want removed, not who you want to keep, because if you state who you want to keep, they have to look at the Steam ID, check if it's on the list. Is there part of the list? Okay, then keep it. Is this one a part of the list? Okay, don't wait. And they do
Well,
that
so
back
that's
and
what I
forth.
went through. I went through and I gave them not just. So I gave them the Steam IDs and names of everybody that needed to go, because they
What?
gave me the whole list of everybody with the consultant whitelist. So I separated them from UK and US, took all the US ones, and separated them from who needed to go and who stayed, and I added their names, put the whitelist in, the whitelist request in, and still, I made it as easy as possible.
That is fucking crazy. I don't know how they messed that up, but you know, laziness, I suppose.
It's just funny putting an SL request in. It doesn't get done, and you go and check it, and it's just gone.
Oh, don't worry. I placed in a SL request for them to modify originally the research communications channel for the US to allow us to put threads in there and allow the directors and above to be able to manage the threads. And it sat there for like 3 weeks, and then it would just disappear the one day with no notification.
I don't know why they do that. Sometimes they just delete it, and like even if they don't, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not adding this channel because X, Y, Z or whatever." They should at least tell you instead of just shadow banishing it, you know.
Well, I think that's just because the fact is, unfortunately, there is probably maybe a lack of internal communication when it comes down to that between all the different departments that they have.
I mean, yeah, communication is tough because you have to communicate between every single SL and on UK and US. So.
Yeah, because you got platform, you got content, you got event. All those have to communicate together.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts.
It can be annoying.
Well,
There's
I mean,
also,
we are
like, there is just like the general staff issue where there's just not enough staff. That
well.
too.
I mean, to be fair though, that is and isn't their fault. I mean, burnout is unfortunately a very serious thing that occurs at a very, very rapid rate. So I don't blame them for not
Right.
having enough staff in. Because you just get really burnt out easily. Even as a player, you get burnt out really easily in certain positions.
I can't tell you how much fun I've had not playing Foundation the past week.
Yeah, once you get away from the Foundation for just a little bit, you really start to realize, wow.
It's because you're
Like
you're
life.
dealing with a small group of people that like they're playing the whatever for the same reason as you, and they're more
Yeah.
senior players, so they know what's going on. That's like one thing I love about being over in GOC is it's people that have been on the server for fucking forever, and there's only one reason you joined GOC, so
You've already played
A lot
everything
of
else.
I think honestly, a lot of people gave GOC players shit for like acting the way they do, but for me, it
sure
made it
do.
better. It made it better when going over there for the first time. I don't know, like they acted like how actual like GOC would act. I don't know, it's weird
I
because
feel like
everyone in the Foundation is funny as shit and does like jokes and bits and shit, but they don't, and that to me, I like that. Not everyone has to be funny. Like
I
and
feel
that
like
makes sense.
what's called again, US server is literally just like the silliest shit ever. I can barely take half the shit serious when I go on. There's only a few select people who are serious when they actually roleplay.
No,
Here's
Yeah.
here's great.
yeah, and it's medical. That's why you come over and do your events in medical.
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking GOC are like the only serious group who actually try to fucking do their job. It's crazy.
So on US, I've come across I'd have to say certain people in research, certain people in medical, CI's RAM and GOC tend to be like, and I would say O5 and to a degree the ethics committee are pretty good role players too. But like on the US, like that's about it.
It sucks really. I go on
Unfortunately, most of
I
my
don't know
roleplay disappeared when I became director because unfortunately I got stuck doing a lot of administrative work.
Yep.
That's why
Dude,
I
I got
hated being director of research.
I had to,
5 months,
yeah,
dude.
Keegan,
That shit.
you seen everything that we did within like just the
Yeah.
past couple months. We redid the entire handbook. We had to redo all
Yeah.
the policies, and also they required us as a senior server leadership order to put all of those documents in game too.
Oh yeah.
That
Which
was
was
a pain in the ass.
God.
That was
This is
so
why
bad.
senior
I
seal
remember me and
4.
Barry hating doing some of that shit. Well, Barry liked writing policies and shit, but I was more or less like the in-game RP guy. I wasn't really administrative. I didn't like doing so
I
much
was
administrative work.
I'm great at writing policies and I'm great at doing all of that. But there's a certain level like when I want to take a break and just role play for a little bit, and I keep
Yeah.
getting called down to ISD every 5 seconds. Like literally, I
Ugh.
pretty much for like a week straight, I just didn't leave ISD because the fact is an ISD agent will call for an executive plus, there'd be no executive on, and it'd fall on to me to have to do it.
Oh yeah.
Now it's one of the DORs has a broken computer, and the other one he's on every so often. So but there are some of the executives are pretty active. It just depends on the time of day that you're a player on.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I'm not the best director of research, but it was definitely a lot of people don't talk about how much
Yeah, but
just
everything you
like
did, almost
stress
everything you
goes
did
into the
was
position.
administrative stuff. You guys worked a lot behind like actual players and shit.
Yeah, behind the scenes, we did a lot of behind the scenes work. Like people don't understand how long it took us just to start discussing the policies because every single meeting I forced to my executives, we were discussing policies the entire time. I mean, Robert can tell you he was there for half of them. Like,
Yeah.
it was
The
pretty much we were discussing policy change to try to improve research where people could actually do tests that they want to do and not be limited by stupid policies that make no goddamn sense of why they exist in the first place.
right.
Which, I mean, it worked. You know what's also really funny is I still have, like, if you check the research documentation channel, I'm still the one that posted the message for it. They haven't deleted it yet and replaced it. So
They don't usually replace it unless something gets changed. There's no
There's
reason
no
to.
way.
If it changes, you can just edit it. 9 times out of 10, it's easier to just edit it than to go through and redo all the links. As long as the person's still on the server.
I mean, I still am. I haven't actually logged back in yet. I mean, I've been taking my time away from it. I mean, I eventually will come back to it, and I haven't figured out exactly where I want to go yet, because I want to go continue to do role play. So I'll probably continue my medical, but probably also do combative because I like to shoot things at this point and not have to deal with the constantly dealing with bad researchers in ISD 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I've kind of like stepped away from all my roles, my major roles, except for GOC. I'm just still go on them and do my Rex, but that's about it. And
What is this man doing as GM? Slop GM, I hear? Cannot believe this. Get rid of this man.
the only reason I want to get up to SGM. That's what I want. That's my main goal.
And then what?
But, you know, Marvin can attest to this. SGMs are typically around for a long time. So it's a pain in the ass waiting to get a slot to open up.
They're like the elders, just never leave. You gotta wait for one to die.
I mean, Astra's been an SGM for like almost a year and a half.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, there's also there's no vertical mobility past SGM until you decide to transfer into staff.
That's why they need to give us head GM.
It's coming out 2029. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get it. We'll get it one day.
They need to have 2 for each server. You have 2 HGMs, 4 SGMs, and then you'd have all your other GMs scattered underneath.
We need like fucking what's it called? Can we just turn the GM structure into the staff structure? You know.
Also,
TGM.
The only problem that comes down to is when you have to do with server leadership stuff.
Also, lately, at the times that I've been playing on US, there's never any fucking staff on. It's only like moderators and trial mods and like maybe a senior mod or 2.
I feel like that's just an issue right now. I barely see any myself. I get on with like 120 people and there's 3 staff on, 2 are AFK.
So, and there's like maybe 1 GM on or 2. So I end up having to help staff with refunds and stuff. So I can't even do GM stuff or play my role because I'm helping staff.
I feel like that's not the biggest issue ever. I mean, I don't.
No, I mean I don't mind helping out, but
I don't see why you would do like 24/7 or anything.
No, they also can't keep staff because of the current requirements too.
The requirements aren't terrible, but the worst GM requirements aren't bad at all. The UK doesn't. GMs don't have requirements. US, we still have a quota we have to meet.
Yeah, X amount of events.
And I mean, I see the merit behind it, and I don't at the same time. But
see, this is like the best thing.
I mean, it's
UK,
pretty much just an activity tracker at that point.
It's like I've been told by people that I've done such a good job as a GM, but like at the moment, I'm halfway through my rec period and I've done 1 event. Like I have this like creative block right now, but I can get striked for that even though I'm a good GM just because I didn't meet the quota.
I feel like that's why UK is so good because like I'm just a GM and I've done like I spend a lot of time thinking of ideas and doing my shit and all. And like if quota existed, bro, I'm not getting my Rex done. What the hell? I'm not gonna be able to meet 2 events or anything. Like it's great. I can just do RP enhancements, a lot of RP enhancements. I can think of my events for a while. It's great.
9 times out of 10, the player base complains about events anyway because it takes them out of the gameplay loop that they want. So RP enhancements just give them a better experience with the RP that they create, and they seem to appreciate that stuff more.
On UK, that's
yeah, but if I remember correctly, what GMs have a requirement to like do X amount of certain type of events.
Yes,
it's 3 events and 2 RP enhancements, right?
Yeah, 2 regular and 2 RP enhancements, which isn't hard. But like I said, like I'm halfway through the rec period.
It just
and,
creates slop for me.
I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of when you
halfway-
just have to flip open the SCP wiki, pick a random SCP, try to figure out how you're going to make the player model, and then just do it.
Sometimes
Yeah,
you
but
can't
that's
do
not
an
like
SCP.
as a
It also
GM
takes
as
a lot
well.
of
Like
time, and
you
sometimes
should
it's just shit because some SCPs are good because of the story, not because of the SCP they are.
also like as a GM, like you want to enjoy your event as much as you want the players to enjoy the event.
Oh yeah.
So when you
And
have like a time restriction, like it doesn't allow you to put as much work into it. And like Nyack said, like you push out these slop events.
and making the story interesting, I'd imagine, is very hard within itself. You know,
Yeah, it can
especially
be.
especially when it's item based SCPs. You know, it's hard to make that interesting because that completely relies on the players too, how the players respond to it.
I don't.
Like
I
I tried to,
Yeah,
genuinely
and
don't.
I tried
unfortunately
to
on the
do
US, RP is not exactly the prominent feature. It's combat.
Yeah.
literally last night I did an event in Medbay, and guess what? They just fucking killed the event characters. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just not doing this event. Like they don't
Yeah.
engage in RP.
All right, people. Unfortunately, I'm at work because Robert, you schedule horrible times for these for me.
I don't think this was scheduled.
Yeah,
I
this
gotta
No,
was
go to
it's
my
scheduled.
fucking.
1:30 in the afternoon.
I know, but Director Grimoire has to go back to fucking work because someone has to make money. For all
good
of
luck
you
at
guys
work,
to just
man.
relax on the CL4 Minecraft server.
Ah.
All right, guys. Cheers.
All right, cheers,
Bye.
man.
Later, Grim.
Have a good day. What a nice guy.
Grim's
Yeah,
good.
what a nice jab.
Oh, you know who might come back soon? Is Gudgeon.
I don't know who that is.
Gordon Gudgeon?
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Oh
Oh,
my god.
okay.
I
Yeah.
I want him to come back. That guy was
I
so
didn't
cool,
recognize the
man.
name.
He was he messaged me and he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for
Really?
his lore got he's like, yeah, I'll come back to the server if my new lore gets approved. And of course, what happens? It gets denied because the model was too
I never
low
wrote
poly.
lore.
Like I'm so mad I never drew his character because I really liked you know, a lot of people don't like the animal based characters. You know, some people are like, oh, like because he was like a cat person, but I always loved him and Darby because that's interesting as shit. I want to hear their story. I want to know what happened with Darby. It was like he was cursed or something. I forgot. And I like that idea. I think that's fucking cool as shit. I'm like, yo, I should have drawn something for that. That's cool as shit. I like that.
Yeah, you drew my profile picture, and I love it.
Yeah.
The issue is like with it being a Gmod server and people seeing animal people, they just get fucking
E-
weird with it.
yeah, it's same with like and this is like already like kind of a like if like okay like if there's any women on the server and you're like I remember there was this moment where I was talking to one I forgot it was someone in medical I needed a because I got like because this is when I first became director um it was a site advisor. He was asking me for because I got like my character got like a mental health checkup thing. I forgot what it's called. Basically a therapy session, and I needed the document for it. And when I got it from her, and I was going to like to back to the site advisor, a dude who watched it happen walked up to me. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna teach you how to riz people up." You know, I was like, "What the
Oh
fuck
my
are you
fucking
talking about?
god.
Like, what are you talking about, bro?" It's a Gmod. It was funny, but I think he was being slightly unironic. And I'm like, "Bro, you need to like." What do you mean?
Ugh,
The Gmod
yeah.
server. That shit. I just hate when people do shit like that. Like, bro, that shit's just weird, dude.
Like I thought it would be a fun idea to get my girlfriend on the server and like we could play around a little
Oh,
bit. And she just gets shit from people all day just because she's a girl. Like
oh yeah. I've that's. I knew a couple like I remember Sammy. Sammy's very cool. She's very. Well, she gets a lot of shit, and I just feel bad.
yeah, but
Like
Samuel
that's
gives
just fucked
Of
up.
the many
Sammy will
mediums,
stand up
Gmod
to
is not the
herself.
best.
Oh
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is why you just join CI. If anyone's sexist, you just shoot them.
The
Gmod
problem
That's
is,
why I'm
though,
proud to
is
announce that we are
Omegle without a camera.
ARP.
Oh yeah.
the problem though is that there's no other game that's quite so customizable.
Yeah.
That's why we need Gmod 2.
With the new microphone.
Sandbox will never replace Gmod. I don't
You
think
say
it
that.
will. Sandbox is like Roblox. It's not even remotely similar.
That's just Do this on Minecraft instead. Fuck it.
Just make it on Roblox at this point. Come on.
Life is Roblox.
I've never played Roblox, but then again, I think I'm too old for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be going now, by the way. You guys have a good time.
I
man,
thank
you
you,
too.
Knox.
No
Yeah,
worries.
thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
See ya, chaps.
I
fuck did he just
you
say?
guys want to we've been going for an hour.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Which is fine. You guys cool to end off the episode here?
Hell yeah.
Shall we do one last in character section, Tomato?
Sure.
All right. Let me see here. I need something for my entrance.
Honestly, I've just been letting you guys talk. I've been applying to jobs.
Same.
I need to apply. I need to
Anyway.
apply to jobs because I'm moving to Charlotte soon. I'm gonna have my own apartment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I need to have a job.
It's better.
All right, here we go.
They're using Not terrible, but
Mr. Peterson, it is the decision of this council that you'll be transferred, effective immediately.
Oh. Shit. Where?
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Ping the place.
You've shown quite a bit of, well, we need someone like you somewhere else. You've been at 65 far too long. Best to separate you from 682 before something more dangerous occurs.
But 682 is my friend. Can he at least come with me?
No, I'm afraid not. You're needed at a different site. We have a much more important project for you to work on.
And
Do
of
I at
course,
least get a
last
pay
person
raise?
has not a clue.
Yes, you may have a pay
I'm good.
raise.
All right, no, perfect, awesome, that's great. All right, with that, I think we're going to end off the podcast. Yeah, so thank you to everyone who listened, participated, donated, followed, anything. Just contributing to the podcast in any way, shape, form, or size. It means a great deal to me, and it means a great deal to everyone that we were able to do this. And I can't say thank you enough. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah, the podcast will still be up. It will not be going anywhere. I'm not taking it down from anything. So you're free to go back and listen to all 60-ish episodes. And yeah, I'm very happy we were able to do this. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone on the CN Discord. Thank you to the administration for allowing us to, do this in the first place and, putting so much effort into getting it in the Discord as well. It means a great deal to me. And it has been nothing but a blast to do. And as always, I will go through and ask if anyone has any final comments. We'll start with Bulwark.
I mean, nothing in particular. It's been a good time. It's been a good few. Actually, I don't know how long the podcast has been going on, but it's always good to
Almost
get in
2
here.
years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's been a good few years, and maybe we'll revisit this one day.
Yeah. Marvin, I know you already said that I'm being transferred, but do you have anything else you want to say?
Tomato, it's my opinion
know why
that
Timmy was
you
saying
are
at the
one of
start,
the
but-
best executives the server's had, and I wish you luck wherever you end up.
This is
I'll
okay.
likely visit
They'll leave eventually.
wherever that may be, so this won't be the last time we speak, I hope.
Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate that, Marvin. And finally, my boy Keegan, you got anything you want to say?
I gotta say, it's been a complete trip. Being on this podcast, being on site, 65. Really fleshing out my character, seeing other characters, how they interact, and meeting people I thought I'd never meet before. And, obviously this won't be the last time you see or hear from me because I am working on stuff for the future that I absolutely love because we all love the SCP Foundation and I want to continue working with like the actual concept of that. So won't be the last time you hear from me. I love being on this podcast since this was fucking awesome because I love shit like this.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all very much for listening. I have been your host, Robert Tomato Peterson. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day and see you down the road.